Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back. The Messenger is back and it's better than ever in Destiny 2, and high impact pulses, they're currently in the best spot they've ever been, and with how the PvP meta is being played, this pulse archetype is right in the mix. In this review, I want to talk about perks, perk combinations, and give you a couple routes to go. In this current clip in the background I was going to use as my intro, but it's too long. Lots of chaining going on, it's really fun. But I want to be clear from the start, there are multiple god rolls for Messenger. You might not hit the perks that you want, but just know it could still be used at a high level. And while there are some really good perks and perk combinations, you can make a case for multiple roles to be the top one. This is because Messenger pretty much has everything going for it. Bungie knew exactly what they were doing when they put on the stats and the perks for this weapon. This thing is a base stat monster. Everything is top tier. And as a legendary, it has the best range, stability, reload, handling, aim assist out of all legendary 340 RPM high impact pulses. It's crazy good. Built in, it has that open 1.8 times zoom. And whenever they transfer a weapon from Destiny 1, it feels like a Destiny 1 weapon. Like, the stability on this thing is amazing. The sight is amazing. Everything is just great. It has a 60 recoil direction stat, and that means that base right here goes a little bit to the right. But if you were to add arrowhead break, that gives plus 30, and then a counterbalance mod, that gets you to exactly 100. And honestly, this is a top way to run it. I do recommend some sort of recoil direction help if you have it, even with mouse and keyboard. But if you get arrowhead, you can make it shoot true. It feels amazing like this, straight up and down. Makes it very precise. This is my main role, already have over 1,000 kills with it. Arrowhead break, high caliber rounds, killing wind, Desperado, I love it. I'll talk about it a little bit more later on in the review about the perks, but I wanted to point it out now because that's the role you're gonna be seeing in most of the background gameplay. I've always been on the Regix train, the Desperado train. I was one of the ones that got the original Claymore back when high impacts weren't in the best spot, but with the perk Desperado, you could do really well with it. And to this day, it's still in the top 5 of my kinetic weapons used in Destiny PvP overall. That's how much I loved it and why this video is nothing less of a glowing review for Messenger. I'm gonna talk it up big. When I looked over it, compared it, broke it down, used it, thought about it, you could call this Regix 2.0, but we had the Claymore, we had the broadsword. The Messenger, the gun itself, is better than the broadsword and the Claymore. It isn't a copy, it's a straight up upgrade. Outlaw with Desperado is the 2.0 part, then getting some random barrels in a mag. And we're gonna get into the perks, but adding things like rapid hit and killing wind takes it to another level. That's why I call it 3.0, because if you get rapid hit or killing wind with Desperado, it's a completely different beast. And ultimately, that's what we have here. It is a pinnacle weapon. Not only is it a pinnacle weapon, it's the best version of a pinnacle weapon. It's better in every single way, and then some. When looking at the barrels, I want to point out a couple of things to you. Any barrel that gives a flat bonus is going to be fine, because remember, it already has the best in class range, stability, all the stats. The only thing that you need to be mindful of is handling, because super low handling can get you into trouble. Taking some away is okay, but not a lot. You don't want big penalties to handling. So if you get a small bore, a polygonal, corkscrew, that's alright. But I do want to talk about full bore for a second. Plus 15 range, negative 10 stability, negative 5 handling. The stability goes to 49 with full bore on, and 49 is the same base stat as the starting stability of Stars and Shadow. Even with taking away stability, the number left over is still higher than some of the high impact pulses that start off. The point is, the stats are so good, you can really crank them up and you're gonna be okay. That goes for any of them, range, stability, handling. I wouldn't be afraid of full bore on this one at all, especially if you get like a ricochet rounds or stability masterwork, it's gonna be fine. Even if you don't, it's going to be fine. The magazine is really interesting because usually we're always set here. It's the same things over and over, but with some of the perks that this has, more options open up. Top PvP options are going to be ricochet rounds for plus 5 range, plus 10-2 stability. Then high caliber rounds for flinch, plus 5 range, armor piercing for plus 5 range, and the rounds over penetrate targets, light mag for plus 5 range, and plus 10 reload speed, and then alloy mag. Now, armor piercing and alloy mag are going to be the sleeper picks here when we start talking about Desperado. I started the video saying that there are multiple top rolls, god rolls. The barrels and magazines alone give you a lot of customization because the base stats are so good, but look at these perks. The only way that you're screwed is if celerity drops to you. Bungie, listen. No one in their right mind is going to take celerity over anything here, and that goes for any weapon. Celerity needs to be inherent on Trials weapons and Nightfall weapons. Celerity is S tier for what it does, but the perk depends on everyone on your fire team dying, and that isn't something appealing to go after. It would just be really nice if some of these weapons had it already built in. But other than celerity, look at these. There is no bad perk option than combination. Rapid hit pairs with everything but celerity. So does Outlaw, Killing Wind, Moving Target, Zen Moment. Literally all of them pair well for a high impact pulse. As to why you do want some certain perks, rapid hit, increased stability and reload for rapid precision hits. Pulses get to a ×5 quickly. I would take this over Outlaw. pound for pound. But Outlaw is going to be great too. Zen Moment, more stability when landing shots. It's always S tier for a pulse. Moving target, slightly faster strafe speed, but it always gives a passive +10 aim assist. It just flat out gives aim assist. It's going to be good. And then Killing Wind. Killing Wind is what I wanted, what I have. And the reason being, final blows grant increased mobility, handling, and range, and it chains, so after you get a kill, it refreshes the timer. It's perfect. It adds up about 3 meters of range, but importantly, when it adds that range, it tightens your accuracy cone, and I talk about this every single time I talk about Killing Wind. It makes the shots sticky. As you can see, the accuracy cone tightens when the perk is active, goes away, and blooms out when the perk is gone. This is important when pairing with any perk, but especially Desperado that we're going to get to in a moment. Everything about Killing Wind elevates Messenger. Big thing is handling. As you're slaying out, you have Killing Wind active. That aim down sight speed is fast. The strafe is fast, very snappy, just whipping around Desperado. And that strafe speed is nice. It is faster than moving target. There have been so many times where I'll be behind cover and I just shoot out like a rocket with that strafe speed. Or I'll be in a gunfight and that strafe speed wins it for me. So you have the range, the handling, the accuracy, and then you have Desperado. It's so good for it. This is my main one. With Killing Wind, I run double pulse reloader, and honestly, this reload's fine. It's all that I need. But overall, the top 2 perks are going to be Rapid Hit and Killing Wind in Node 1, then Outlaw after that. In the second node, Desperado. You've been seeing that in the background the whole time. After Precision Final Blow, get a reload in, you get increased fire rate, and you get to keep the damage of a high impact. The TTK shifts to right under 0.5 seconds, the base TTK is 0.67. You can go even faster. You need to be on the lookout if enemies have Desperado, because it can and will end a Trials round. It has a clear and potent advantage when the perk procs when you're playing against it. If anything, you need to peek shot them. You need to move in and out of cover or wait for Desperado to run out. It has a duration of 7 seconds. It feels like it lasts forever in game, and if you get a Precision Final Blow at any time and reload, it's going to refresh that timer and keep going. It's always been an S tier perk. And with Desperado, this perk, Armor Piercing comes into play for bullet over penetration. Alloy Mag as well, because you can spin that mag really fast with Desperado, get down to the end, and get a fast reload when you empty it. We have One for All. This is a PvE perk. Pulses are on the artifact for unstoppable champions. Hit 3 enemies, you gain a damage bonus for 10 seconds. You proc it all the time in PvE. It's not a throwaway perk, very good in PvE. Not so much in the Crucible, but if anything, stash it. I've been using it in Gambit and Battlegrounds, it's been doing great. We have Headseeker, great for high impact pulses. If you start with a body shot, the burst rises to the crit and any bullet after hitting the body, and if the second or third hit the head, you get a slight increase to damage. It goes from 36 to 38. Again, the TTK is a 0.67 with 5 crits and 1 body, and a clean 2 burst of 6 crits just downs everything. But with Headseeker, if you go body, critical, critical, body, critical, critical, that's gonna down any Guardian below 8 resilience. And a lot of players are. So it's a total of 2 body shots and 4 headshots. It's an ease of use perk. It's there to achieve the time to kill with a little bit of error. A Headseeker rolled high impact is better than a base high impact. And then Kill Clip, always top tier. And I believe that if this Messenger came out and the main role to go for was Rapid Hit and Kill Clip, say Desperado wasn't there, everyone would be all over this pulse, because that role alone would get people into play trials. Desperado just puts it over the edge. As far as perk combinations, any of them really, aside from Celerity, and I guess One for All if you don't want a PvE one, but they all work. They all work for high impact pulse. The stats are top tier at base. It is a dueling pulse. But the top role, I guess, is going to be Rapid Hit or Killing Wind with Desperado. Arrowhead Break with a counterbalance mod for a perfect recoil. It's a perfect weapon. But I just want to say again, another thing to remember. I have a Killing Wind Headseeker roll, and it's great. Headseeker keeps the bullet time to kill. It has ease of use. And I know a lot of you are trying to get Desperado. It's in the Ingram pool now, so more can drop next week and beyond. It's going to come up again. But don't get discouraged if you get something like this Killing Wind Headseeker, because it duels phenomenally. And as far as Desperado, it can do well in 3v3 game modes. Again, you need to check before if the Messenger has it, because way back in the day, we would call out headshots in comp if a player was using the Claymore, because we knew that some heat was coming our way, and that player was searching aggressively. We would either wait for it to run out or try to team shot. And like right here, we were down lives and Desperado got our team back in and we won the round. This is in freelance. It has big playability, and in trials, chaining one target to the next or getting off a kill where you are low health, it does happen. And like I said in the title, it's a pinnacle weapon that is better than the 2 previous versions of that pinnacle weapon. I'm unsure of what direction that they're going, but this thing is locked into Sunset in Season 17, 610 power. It's gonna stay around. And all this gameplay, you've been seeing a subclass, and I'm telling you right now, in 6v6, you need to fear a Devour Lock with Desperado. I have always run Redrix like this. The Devour timer matches up really nicely with Desperado. If you get a kill, reload, consume the grenade, you have Devour procced, and after every kill, you get your health back. It's scary, scary good. So I do highly recommend for those of you that do have a Desperado roll to try it on a Devour lock. And in the closing here, I do hope that Trials becomes more accessible down the line, because the true prize is when this thing becomes Adept, adding the Adept mods, which I know because of RNG, there's no way I'm getting my Arrowhead break, Desperado killing wind roll, but I might get a Rapid hit one, or maybe none at all that are like this. But hopefully one day though, they do give tokens for losses that have the matches completed, but I'm sure that they fear that players are just gonna throw and jump off the map. But I do feel that Trials could be further fine-tuned. It needs to be more accessible to more casual players. There are lots of reviews coming to the channel. This one though, the Messenger, try to get it, it's the real deal. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. If you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. You can use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. Let's talk about the Messenger down below, and also your thoughts of it being the best version available of a pinnacle weapon. I also want to know what role you got. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.